The snow was falling in thick flakes, enveloping the town in silence. Santa stood on the roof of an old house, but his appearance was distorted by a strange light. The children below were eagerly awaiting presents. But this time Santa's sleigh, doomed to wander forever, rolled over the city, leaving behind only a cold wind and impenetrable shadows. Santa looked in confusion at his own sleigh, which instead of a rainbow glow, emitted a mystical light of darkness. His heart sank with anxiety, and shadows of long-forgotten fears flashed in his eyes. The night, usually filled with merriment and laughter, had become a silent scene, where even the dogs did not bark and the birds fell silent, as if foreboding the approach of something sinister. The children, staring up at the sky, felt fear sliding down their spines. Uncertain rustling sounds rang out over the city, as if ghosts from the past were rising to bear witness to the breaking of tradition. At that moment, the clock towers began to chime midnight, and their sounds pierced the silence like the last moaning cry of a dying Christmas. Santa, gathering his last drops of determination, swung his wand, trying to bring peaceful magic back to his sleigh. But the darkness remained unwavering, consuming the light and plunging Christmas into the abyss of oblivion. Something mysterious and ominous thickened in the air, and Santa realized that there was more than just lost presents in front of him. Santa felt the cold invade his soul, freezing the magic that once made Christmas special. He stepped down from the roof, his gaze full of sadness and determination. The children standing around felt that something important had been lost, and the mystery of the ghostly sleigh only added a touch of mysticism to the evening. "Children," Santa spoke, his voice mocking and sad at the same time. "Dark spirits have darkened my sleigh. Christmas is in danger, and only you can help me bring light back to this day." The children looked at each other, their eyes sparkling with a mixture of fear and determination. Emily, the girl who had always believed in miracles, took his hand and said, "We'll help you, Santa. We need to bring Christmas back." The dark forces, sensing the children's determination, began to manifest themselves. Shadows from the corners stretched out as if reaching out with pestering hands, trying to snuff out the last ray of light in their hearts. Santa took a glowing orb, the last remnant of magic, from his bag and handed it to the children. "This ball contains the power of children's faith. Hold it tightly and go where the darkness is strongest. Only together can we banish these sinister shadows and bring Christmas back into our hearts." The children took the balloon with affirmation and headed toward the dark center of town, where mystical forces were preparing to consume the last remnant of light. The fire of determination burned in their eyes, and they carried the hope of restoring the magic that made Christmas special. Following the path of darkness, the children approached the center of the city, where dark forces tormented its heart. The night grew increasingly sad, and only the glowing orb in the children's hands created a ray of hope in the dark abyss. The shadows grew thicker with each step, but the children moved forward undoubtedly, clutching their last gift of Christmas. When they reached the center, the darkness seemed to swallow up their light. The wind brought by the ominous shadows whipped up like a harbinger of a storm. But the children held together, and the glowing ball of light radiated brightness, resisting the darkness. In the center of the city, shrouded in a shroud of mystical gloom, the children saw a shimmering portal into which dark forces were trying to absorb the last remnant of Christmas magic. Emily lifted the glowing orb with an unwavering gaze and began to read the cryptic words engraved on its surface. Emily's words filled the air, and a strange dance of shadows began to take place all around. The children felt the light and darkness fighting for supremacy, their hearts beating in unison with the magic they brought with them. Suddenly, as if tearing the cover of darkness, a magnificent glowing spruce spire began to grow out of the glowing ball. Its branches spread out like protective wings, and the darkness retreated, as if surrendering to the power of the children's faith. "Christmas is back," exclaimed Emily, and her voice rang out like the clear ringing of a bell. Light once again entered the hearts of the children and the people of the town. The shadows disappeared, and the darkness gave way to the rainbow rays of a restored Christmas. Santa, watching the battle from afar, smiled, knowing that through the children's determination and faith, the holiday had been saved. The children returned home, and that evening the lights of garlands and candles burned in every window. Joy and restored magic filled the air, and Christmas regained its special magic. The next morning, the city awoke to a bright sunshine, and its streets shone with bright decorations and cheerful colors. Children, remembering the adventures of the night, ran to the windows to see Santa Claus flying on his restored sleigh, bringing with him joy and laughter. The mystery of the ghostly sleigh and sinister spirits was solved, and Christmas proved stronger than any darkness. The children of the town, united by the magic of faith and determination, became the real heroes of this unassuming corner of the world. Santa Claus, grateful for their courage, shone his smile, which became even brighter after the night's struggle. On this day, everyone was reminded of miracles and how important it is to believe in light forces in the darkest moments. And so, Christmas was brought back, and the city was once again filled with songs, children's laughter, and the ringing of bells. The holiday filled every home and every heart with warmth, reminding that in the power of children's faith lies the real magic of Christmas.